like, it's such a maze in here. Every time, I'm like, I know how to get.
Do you have, your hair's so long.
I know, and I just got it cut in October, actually.
Oh, nice. Okay, so do you have any, like, anything you want? Or you just kind
Welcome to the voiceover, guys. So before I go through my formulation, just know that everything is written down in the description box below. So if you want to see that, you can look there. For her highlights in the front, I'm mixing Oxycur Platin in 20 volume for the root area so that I get a good nice lift on it. And then for her ends, I mixed up the same lightener with 10 volume just because I want a little bit of a bump, but I don't need to bleach the crud out of those ends. Now I apologize for the angle of this. It's going to switch in a minute and get a lot better. The only reason I'm showing it is because I just want to show my highlight pattern for the hairline area. So I did 3 weaved foils back to back, and then I get to her money piece area, which is where I do 2 foils back to back, and then I switch to the sides, which is a very diagonal back. I want to maintain everything at a very intense diagonal back so that when everything is brought back down, it blends nicely. For my tip out formula, again, I'm using Oxycur Platin in 20 volume. Now you can see I've taken a section, I'm teasing it, and I'm pulling it very far forward, over directing it. Again, when you think about it in this angle that it's at, when I'm painting on it and also painting at an angle, when that hair falls down straight from the head, it's going to have even more of a nice blend on it. And that's why I'm doing everything in the front over directed like this, as you can see, because this just gives me extra insurance that everything on my blend is going to look really nice. Now I didn't do very many tip outs. I want to say I only did maybe 1 or 2. I think I did 1 on this side and then 2 on the other side because she parts her hair and has more hair falling on the other side. But I just wanted to be really strategic about where I was placing these tip outs because I wanted a lot of dimension and I also wanted a little bit of pop. Not a lot, just a little bit, and that's why I only did a few. I wanted a lot of different color to live in this front area right here. And again, just showing that I'm taking a nice fine weave, I'm teasing it, I'm feathering the lightener up into her root area. Again, just lots of different things to ensure that we get a nice, beautiful, even blend on her hair. And of course, we always want to make sure if there's any sort of light ends or pieces, we're kicking those guys out of the foil. That way they're not having extra lightener on them, and just maintaining the integrity of the hair. It's always very important that we prioritize the health of our client's hair. Now at this point, I had realized that any of the other dropouts that I had were going to have some of that old color on there, some of that leftover blonde from the last time we did her hair. So I decided I was going to go through and low light a few pieces. I did Shades EQ 7GB, and I just did this to bring some warmth and some dimension into the front of her hair. I didn't need to do this in the back because the back still had a lot of dimension. It was just in the front. I wanted to make sure that there was more dimension up there and some different colors for those blonde tip outs to just pop against. It's just really important to always be thinking about the overall picture of what we're trying to achieve. And so I did about 3 low lights on each side, brought that color through just to give me some more dimension in that front area. In the back, we're doing a brick lace section where we're taking a triangle, we're highlighting on both sides of that triangle, and then taking a horizontal section across to connect both of those sides, and then highlighting at the top there. So that way we're putting a lot of dimension in and covering a lot of ground in a really quick, efficient way. Moving on to our toners, y'all, I did 4 separate toners in order to achieve this look. And I just want to touch on how important it is to make sure we're being strategic when we're doing this and really giving our clients a customized look. I really think that the toning is what made this look so expensive. This is where you really can take your color and just kick it up a level and just make it look so freaking fire. So for my root area, I already have that applied. I did 6N and O&M. It's a hybrid color, and I did that with a 3.5 volume. I love using that for my root color just because it's super opaque. It's going to give me a lot of coverage and make sure that I am really blending in where those highlights meet her natural color. Now you can see right here I'm coming through and I'm applying a mid-tone. So in the back and the sides, I applied this mid-tone color, which will be down in the description box. And then what I did is I mixed up a different color for the ends in the back. There was just a lot of warmth back there, so I needed something that was a little bit darker, a little bit more cooling, so that I could control some of that warmth, not completely eliminate it, but just control it. And then in the front, her pieces had lifted a lot lighter, so I wanted to maintain some of that lightness, and I didn't need as much control for the warmth. I could put a little bit of ash in my formula, but I also maintained some of that warmth because we still wanted to be on the warm neutral side. So again, just to recap, root color all over, and then in the back and the sides, mid-tone applied, about 4 inches down, and then the ends in the back had one formula and the ends in the front and her money piece had a different formula. Everything can be found in the description box below, and I hope that makes a lot of sense. Look at that blend. This was where I was just like, yes, we killed it. So just to recap, we did a highlight and a tip out and a low light in the front, highlight in the back. We did 4 different toners on her. We did a Olaplex treatment, a trim, a blowout, a curling. She got the works today, and it just turned out chef's kiss. Loved it.
Scare me for my patience.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, looks so good.
It's pretty.
It's so pretty.
It's got a lot of dimension in it too. Ew.
So nice.
I think this is my favorite.
Me too.
Very pretty. Yeah, no, we don't
You're
ever.
curling, I swear you have a magic.
I don't even think I'm that good at
You're
it.
so good at
Oh, thank you.
it. You're so
I was
good at
literally
it.
telling myself yesterday that I needed to work on my like styling skills.
No.
I guess it's just I see other people. That's probably the hard thing is like I just compare my stuff to other people that I see. And so you always just think like, oh, I don't measure up. And it's like,
That wave. It's just gorgeous. I don't know.
it's so pretty.
So pretty.
But then what's nice too, so like you have some of the dark in there,
Yep.
but it's not anything like you could go another gear.
And like I like how there's even
Yeah.
dimension within the brown.
Well, that's where it's like you have the difference up in there, but it's so soft that
So
like
pretty.
it'll just grow straight out.